Hey, it's Mike. Thanks for tuning back in. So I have a bonkers lawsuit that I'm going to go over here. But first, I want to remind you that tonight, Thursday, January 5th, is the first episode featuring me on a Bench Clear Media talk show. It is called Hobby Think Tank. I'm really excited about it. The episode airs at 8 p.m. Go over there, watch that. I think you might be able to already click on Remind. I don't remember now. But anyway, watch that. Subscribe to Bench Clear Media and make sure you watch that every Thursday night. My next episode will be 2 weeks from today, January 19th, where I talk with Mike Moynihan about autograph authentication and if it's worth it, basically, and a lot of other things about autograph authentication. One other thing is yesterday I did a video on the 1954 Dandy and Red Heart Mickey Mantle cards, and I said that there was no Topps 1954. John Mangini put me in my place, thankfully. There is a 1954 Topps card produced of Mickey Mantle, and I thought I would just do a minute on it, but I'm actually going to do a video on that at some point in the very near future. So thanks to John for pointing that out. Completely slipped my mind that there is one. So yeah, let's get into the hobby lawsuits. I love hobby lawsuits. I'm going to cover these if they're good, if they interest me, but not all of them. Actually, there was another one that was really interesting, and Sports Card Dad just came out with a video, beat me to it, and he even made the terrible joke about hockey cards that I would have made as well. So good on him. That one is about David Adams losing $54,000 worth of cards to a leak at a storage place that they contracted to. Go over to Sports Card Dad, or better yet, go to Paul Lesko on Twitter. Paul Lesko is an attorney who covers sports card and hobby lawsuits. So he's on Twitter. He's awesome. I strongly recommend following him and going to him for analysis on this stuff, because I'm not legal. I'm not in the legal profession. You're not going to get any legal analysis from me, at least nothing good. So this one is it's actually a double lawsuit. Leaf Trading Cards filed lawsuit against Ronaldinho, and I had to Google to find out how to pronounce his name. And I have a Portuguese friend, and he says Ronaldinho is how they pronounce it. But apparently in the English speaking world, it's Ronaldinho. I don't do soccer or football, so this was news to me. But Leaf filed suit against him that he agreed to produce 500 autographs at $90 per autograph that they would pay him. But then his attorney or his agent contacted Leaf saying that Leaf didn't have legal right to use his image on cards or stickers. And they said, well, we do. And so they sued him. Apparently, it seems to me like they knew that they were going to sue, that Ronaldinho was going to sue them. So they pre-sued with evidence. So I'm going to get into, stick around for the kicker at the end, because it's a big one, I think. Interestingly, Giannis made the same case against Leaf in 2021, and Giannis has the same attorneys too. So the second lawsuit here is Ronaldinho sued back against Leaf, alleging violations of his right to publicity, trademark dilution, unjust enrichment, false advertising, and other things that Leaf committed against him. He has assigned his IP rights to a company called Drop Collectibles, which I've never heard of before, but apparently he says that they are the only people who have the right to his IP. I don't know enough about that stuff. So he alleges in his lawsuit that Leaf placed counterfeit autographs on their cards and stickers and sold them to consumers. And apparently also alleged that Leaf has done this with other athletes as well. And they used the word counterfeit, which is bonkers. Now, we are definitely, probably a lot of us, and there are going to be a lot of Leaf defenders in my comments. I always get Leaf defenders, and that's great. I'm not anti-Leaf at all. I actually think Leaf does some really cool cards. But because they're not licensed, people tend to believe that they're not legitimate. And so a lot of people will believe that Brian Gray of Leaf is counterfeiting autographs of athletes. What I say to that is, how stupid do you think that would be for Leaf to do that. And we're going to get to that a little bit here in a moment. But they also allege that they only signed jerseys and numbers. And I wondered what that was, and so did Paul Lesko. And so he asked, what does it mean by signing numbers? And somebody explained that they have the numbers on jerseys, but they're separated from jerseys, or they're printed separately. And athletes will sign them, and then those are pressed onto the jersey. So in some cases, you might get a jersey that's autographed. In some cases, you might get the number that has been pressed on, very similar to a sticker on a card. But of course, the numbers don't look ugly because they belong there, unlike sticker autographs. Another thing about the lawsuit that I found interesting was that they again, I know very little about soccer, but I do know that Lionel Messi is on Brazil's team. They just won the World Cup. Shows you how much I know. As I edited this, I realized that he's on Argentina's team, who just won the World Cup. But Ronaldinho's attorneys called him Leonardo Messi in their lawsuit. That's kind of a stupid mistake. PSA has authenticated some of these autographs. You can find them on eBay with PSA DNA certifications. Has PSA DNA ever made a mistake? Of course. And we'll talk about this on my Bench Clear Media episode tonight. So stick around for that, or come over to Bench Clear Media tonight for PSA DNA stuff. So, did Leaf do this? I actually did a video earlier this year where PSA DNA was refusing to authenticate some autographs of athletes. And Leaf claims that Beckett was in the room when Ronaldinho did his autographs. Ronaldinho's team is saying that Beckett was not there. And we know from a past lawsuit, or if I remember correctly, Beckett was, because it was in the middle of COVID, there was some contention there, like Beckett wasn't actually in the room, but they had video. I don't remember exactly the details, you can find that. But in this case, Brian Gray produced a photograph of Ronaldinho signing Leaf stickers, hundreds of them. How does Ronaldinho's team overcome that? I don't know. It seems pretty clear. If you are Ronaldinho's team and you say, he didn't sign any stickers, these are all fraud, and Brian Gray says, I've got pictures of him doing it, probably has video too, that's a pretty clear-cut case. But again, I'm not an attorney. Go read Paul Lesko on Twitter. He does analysis on this stuff. He's awesome. I just cover the cases. I'm just really interested in this stuff, especially autographs and authentication. These companies make mistakes. PSA DNA, Beckett, they make mistakes, but for the most part, they're on. And when Brian Gray produces photographic evidence of you signing, it's a tough one to overcome. Anyway, I do daily sports card content. If you're new, or if you have watched my videos and haven't subscribed yet, please click that subscribe button. I really appreciate it. Let me know what you think about this lawsuit. Is Leaf in trouble, or do they have no problems whatsoever? At least this. Thanks a lot for watching. I appreciate it.